She got her start aged 15 at the local dry cleaner. Then she turned to dairy farming. Her trademark, to tell people they are loved and that they're valuable. She went on to small business, retailing giftware to be precise, and had no idea that one day her real estate business she'd create would rank number 2 in the world across its large network for small teams. She's a cherished wife, a mother, grandmother, sister, and friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacqui Walker. Jacqueline May Walker, please take a seat. This is your life. Jacqui Walker. You were born in the year 1961 to proud parents on the 13th day of August, 1961. They're James Frederick Sherwood and Pearl Sherwood, in the Victorian town of Warragul. You are the 5th and final child, baby sibling to young adult sisters Patricia and Carol, 12-year-old Lynette, and 6-year-old Russell. We go now to your sister Patti, who on behalf of all your siblings tells the story of the unexpected surprise that you were.
Mum had been ill and she had not been feeling well for nearly 5 months. And anyway, we were very, very concerned about her. And yes, Dr. Colville said, oh, look, it's a germ in the bowel. And I knew she had that doctor's appointment. She came into the shop and she said, Patti, I'm going to have lunch with you. There's something I want to tell you. Because bear in mind, I was engaged. Anyway, and I thought, oh my gosh, what did the doctors tell Mum? And I was absolutely really upset because I didn't know what was wrong with my mum. Anyway, long story short, I said, Mum, what is it? When we met for lunch, she said, oh, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a baby. Well, I went, oh, really? Oh, I got so excited. I said, oh, that is wonderful.
Yours is a happy childhood. And your older sisters soon marry the men they love most. And you become an aunt at just 4 years old. Hospitality is at the centre of your being. Even before you started school, you'd be out at the front gate on busy Brandy Creek Road, outside the family home saying, hello, I'm Jacqueline Sherwood, you come and have a cup of tea, to perfect strangers. It's been said your mother wouldn't know who you'd bring through the front door next. Growing up, Sunday lunches are famous for all the family squeezing around a table in a small, humble, eat-in kitchen, and I mean all the family. On the menu, your father's famous roast, complete with vegetables from his garden, and topped with your mum's beautiful gravy made on a secret recipe of roast pan juices. Dessert, her absolutely sumptuous golden syrup dumplings. Sunday lunches are remembered as upbeat, talkative, everyone listening and everyone talking all at once. Your father is a returned World War II soldier. He poignantly remembers but rarely talked about the horrors he witnessed in Darwin. And as you grow up, he's the local bus driver and mail contractor. As the mail contractor, he actually knew your husband-to-be's family long before you did. Your family is well liked around town. Your mother appreciated by many as a loving, warm neighbour and a friend. You're just 3 months old, and through your mum's friendships, you bond with 4-month-old Elaine Walton. Across 60 beautiful years, the two of you have shared endless milestones. School, becoming mums, marrying, right through to a lifelong friendship, and to this day, close friends. Elaine joins us now. Hi, Elaine. I've heard the two of you loved to play with dolls.
Yeah, we loved our dolls. We were real doll girls. And I think that's where we learnt our mothering skills from our baby dolls. We love baby dolls. Shopping in op shop for baby clothes and things.
Wow, sensational memories, Elaine. Dressing dolls together, and then of course it was time for school. Tell me a bit about walking to school and your friendship with Jacqui's family.
I'd walk up, because when we were at primary school, I lived a little bit further, so I'd go to Jacqui's and pick her up, and then we'd walk to school, and Pearl would be in bed because she was not that well, and taking her in a cup of tea and just sitting on the bed with her before we go to school.
Wow.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And what used to go on after school? The bell would ring, time to go home. What did you two hang out after school?
I love going to Jacqui's after school because we were allowed to watch Number 96 and I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Probably older sisters and stuff on TV and you get away with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 96.
not that I think we really took that much notice of it, but yeah,
sure,
it was just being able to do something I wasn't allowed to do at home.
Right. Fabulous, Elaine. What an adventure. What a wonderful adventure is this friendship. Now tell me, did you ever stay for one of my grandfather, Jacqui's father's, famous roasts? I'd love to know.
We were out in the backyard and he cut the head off a chicken. And the chickens running around. It was the first time I'd ever come across anything like that. I was horrified.
Cut the head off a chicken.
I'll cut the head off a chicken.
Why?
And it's running around in the backyard. Yeah. I was horrified. Didn't know what to do.
What, does the chicken go in the roast the next day or that day? Or
yeah.
Did you stay and eat?
I don't think I stayed for dinner.
I don't blame you. Oh. No. I can eat the chicken, but I'm not seeing it go to the roast.
No, I'd never seen anything like that. I'm sure my nana had done it at some stage,
right.
but not while I was living there.
Oh, no. And I'm pretty sure they don't fall down and die. They run around silly for a fair while.
They run around without its head off. Yeah, it was horrifying.
Oh, no. That was Elaine Johnson, your close childhood friend, your close friend to this very day. Your friend of 60 years. Thanks, Elaine. Jacqui, throughout your school years, as Elaine mentioned, your mum's health isn't the best. When you're 12 years old, she has a severe heart attack. Her black hair literally turns white overnight. Doctors say Pearl won't live the night. She lives until she's 87. But we stay in the moment for now. You're 15 and you want to leave school. Your father agrees you can leave, but he says you must get a job first. So it's a job you get, and fast, at the Warrigal Dry Cleaner, where you learn the dry cleaning trade and you get to put your fantastic people skills to work in the workplace. You're now 16 years old and you're at the house of some friends when a local church youth group leader, Brian Walker, drops in. He's 20 years old. And so begins your precious bond. Now, Brian's church is a little more upbeat and expressive than the church you've grown up in. Your mother, aware of its differences, is perhaps a little concerned and seeks the advice of her own church minister. Don't worry about that, Pearl, he says. Jacqui doesn't listen anyway. Your friendship with Brian blossoms into dating, and one weekend, eating lunch in the park, Brian says to you, "So, when are we getting married?" To which you say, "Dad wouldn't let me get married until I was at least 17. But your father loves Brian. He says, for anyone else, the answer is no. But for you, Bryony boy, of course. The pair of you marry on January 20, 1979, and what a beautiful day it is. Your father would only live for another 17 months, so you consider it a great honour that he walked you up the aisle that day. And we go now for a look back at that precious memory.
One step closer, I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more.
You and Brian are hard workers. Brian would have the best reputation as the most reliable farmer in the district, completely committed to the dairy farm, but still the sign on the wedding card does say, be back by 5 to milk the cows. But first, as newlyweds, you jet off on a sensational 6-week honeymoon, 6 weeks, across New Zealand. Annual anniversary getaways would go on to be a feature of your marriage year after year. Back home, life ahead for the newlyweds is mapped out as hard-working dairy farmers, and Brian's farm is absolutely known as the best kept farm in the district. We go now to March 1980. The pair of you become first-time parents. To bundle of joy, your daughter, Jaylyne Louise, born March 1980. What a rich time of memory-making Jaylyne's arrival is. Your father, Jacqui, Jim, now retired, wanted to know when Jaylyne was due to wake up. 3 p.m. each day, you said, so 5 minutes to 3, without fail, your dad would arrive to dote on his precious youngest granddaughter, remembering that he was now a retiree. These are some of your most precious memories because within 13 short weeks, your father would die, the result of massive complications after a huge heart attack. But something happens just 3 weeks before this, which forever brings you great comfort. Your father, a jovial character, always with a good story ready, the kind whose Catholic roots would take him to church on, Easter, Christmas, has a very real experience with Jesus Christ during that massive heart attack. Dr. Davies says he won't make the night. But Jim survives for 3 weeks, during which time your dad tells loved ones, visitors, and even other patients in his ward about the light and the strong arms of Jesus which he had just experienced. Across his final day, your dad is enjoying a bowl of peaches and he's thinking about the heavens. He tells your family, I'm going home. And that night, he passes away. To this day, you cherish the comfort of those precious final weeks and the peace your dad knew. By the end of the next year, 1981, Brian and yourself are living in Queensland. You're dairy farmers, you're peanut farmers, near your sister Lynette and her family. Your mum is still in Victoria, you miss her so much. But you record news for each other on old-fashioned cassette tapes. And with a little help from the post office, you're that bit closer all the time. It's in Queensland, Kingaroy to be precise, that you celebrate the arrival of precious second daughter, Kylie. In December 1981, the opportunity for Brian and yourself to return to dairy farming in Victoria does arise, and you're overjoyed at the opportunity to see your mum, Pearl, more often. It's in Victoria, August 1984, that the same doctor who delivered you, Jacqui, delivered me, your third and youngest child. Brian and yourself, Dad, returned to Queensland, and by January 1987, you were looking forward to putting down roots in Kingsthorpe, 20 minutes outside of Toowoomba. Any day now, the new transportable home, which you and Brian own, will be arriving on your acre block of land. You're doing the school run, and beside yourself with excitement when, ahead of schedule, your near new relocatable home has arrived on the truck. It's up on stilts. It's yours and Brian's block of land right next door to the school. Overflowing with happiness, you're so excited to have a base that you can now welcome new friends to. The house is up on stilts, the stumps, the securing of it is not complete, but it doesn't matter. Time to make some friends and get that kettle boiling. And so a long friendship with big-hearted, servant-hearted Narelle Oliver is born. Narelle often refers to you as the sister she never had. I wanted to know more about that very first day that the two of you met. We go now to Narelle Oliver. Hi, beautiful Narelle. Thanks for joining us. Would you take us back to the very first time you and Jacqui ever met?
I was taking my daughter to school in being grade 1, first up, and I went to the school and we got out and we were walking along the veranda, and next minute I see Jacqui, and I didn't talk to her because we were getting all the kids together and going into the rooms, and next minute she come up to me afterwards and she says, "Hello, I'm Jacqui." I said, "Hello, I'm Narelle," and she says, "I think you're what did she say? Would you like to come up to have a cup of coffee? I've got the house up on stilts, but we can still climb up it." I can still hear her say, "I can still climb up it." So I said, "Oh, okay." And so that's how we met, and we went and had a cup of coffee. I stayed there nearly till after lunch. We had lunch, and nearly every afternoon we had coffee, or in the morning we'd have coffee. And she always used to say, "I saw this girl in Kylie's class, and she had all curls, all done up nice, and her skirt was just all the pleats were as neat as a pin." And she said, "Now that'd be a nice person to meet and to be a friend." So, beautiful. So from then on, that's how it started. And the girls became very good friends, and Kylie and Kelly. And then Mum decided to start a gift shop, and Dad. And I went and worked for them for a while.
Yeah. Narelle, thank you for your reflections tonight. And on the occasion of Jacqui's 60th birthday, what would you like to say?
Wow, 60, Jacqui. Can't believe I'm nearly 68 as well. We've had such a beautiful friendship, and we both have God in our lives, and I pray that we'll be another 30 years the best of friends. And I love you dearly, and wish you all the happiness in your new adventure that you're going to have. So, God bless.
Beautiful words. Thank you very much, Narelle. And just lastly, one more thing. 35 years of friendship is not very common. Another thing that isn't very common is being downtown Toowoomba and wanting to refund a skirt, but, well, being one skirt short. of making this possible. What happened one day about 25 years ago in downtown Toowoomba?
I can't stop laughing. Jacqui bought a skirt, and she was with your grandma, her mum Pearl, and me, and she says, I don't like this skirt, because she put it on after, and when we went home, then we went out, and she had it on, and she said, I don't like this. So she said, what do we do? I want to change it straight away, because we were downtown. And Pearl said, well, you can have my skirt and walk in, take that one off. And that's what she did. Mum was in the back seat with no skirt on until she come back with another skirt. We nearly had kittens that afternoon too. We laughed and laughed so much.
These memories.
Even Pearl, she cackled and cackled. Oh, it was so funny.
In her knickers, in the backseat of the car, Narelle, you couldn't write a script to create that story.
No, you couldn't. And I couldn't believe that they actually took it back. Oh, I don't even think it had the tags to on.
It's here in Kingsthorpe that Brian works in cattle feed production, and your self-managed self-employment days begin, Jacqui, becoming a daycare operator from home. You're a self-managed contractor through the Kath Dixon Daycare Centre. Daytimes and playtimes are magical for the kids you mind. The pinnacle of fun is definitely drawing on the kitchen table, covered in shaving cream, and kids love making pikelets with you every day. A baby you mind at 6 weeks old eventually takes her first steps in your care, with her career mother very busy, and two kids whose mother finally gets a day off insists that the three of them come to play at your home on her day off. By the late 1980s, doctors tell you, Jacqui, that your mum shouldn't be living alone. It's a huge point of joy for you and Lynette when she moves to Queensland, now ever so close. Pearl loves life on your sister Lynette's farm. Kingsthorpe days are classic days, and it's no accident that the acre block you purchased next to the school is directly opposite your beautiful new friend, Jeanette Epple's home. Yourself and Jeanette bond on many levels. Jeanette is an inquiring, informed, intelligent academic, and she searches out your heart, particularly on matters of faith, creation, and the universe, with the friendship being just a mighty gift to the two of you. Sadly, Jeanette is not with us today to honour your 60th birthday. She bravely faced an extremely rare lung condition, and you said goodbye to her in 1995. Jeanette's legacy never forgotten, her impact always treasured. At Kingsthorpe, in yours and Brian's lounge room, at a weekly Bible study group, the Kingsthorpe Church of Christ is born. Humble meetings in the preschool occur for years. A small group of leaders, yourself and Brian, head up the Kids Club. A famous weekly night of organised games at the community hall, complete with hot Milo, bickies, and a short practical devotion about the love of Jesus. And kids love it, they easily understand it, they love it, and sometimes parents get there early to hear it too. Near pick-up time, I remember parents often congregating to hear the latest. I guess they like the hot Milo too. Brian's devotions have a lasting impact in the memory of many. To this day, he'll be contracting around the shopping centres, and kids, now adults my age, stop and say, "Hey, Mr. Walker," and they love to have a chat to him. We go now to 1991, where at the Village Fair Shopping Centre, the all-new glamorous destination for shopping at the time, yourself and Brian take a risk, and you create a beautiful gift shop named Perfect Gifts. It's a lovely 60 square metre store. It's a different era, with the click-clack credit card machine, and all the shops close at midday on Saturday. Your lifelong friend Narelle works with you in the store, and down the track, Narelle's career follows every place, Jacqui, you go, both working across 3 other businesses together. It's 1994. You and Brian build our family home in Glendale. Within a day of moving in, Jacqui, a searing pain is crippling your right shoulder. You describe it as though someone has stabbed you with a knife and they're turning it constantly. You're certain you've just rushed too much and you've badly pulled a muscle, but it wasn't to be so simple. For 3 years, it was impossible for you to lift your right arm past your elbow, and you'd lay day after day in agony. The strongest painkillers barely assisted. Doctors tell you it's a condition with only 13 known cases in the world. A bone disease called chronic condensing osteitis. But on the upside, your beautiful mother Pearl does come to live in our family home. As for your shoulder, it would take one failed operation, heavy-duty medication, and much of each day confined to bed before you finally would get your life back. Aware that each of your children's faith was emerging, you never taught or promised you'd be healed. Day by day you rested in the hope of your saviour. In agony one night, at the end of your tether, absolutely upset and had enough, you ask again, as you often did, for your saviour's help. The next day you're busy. High caseload, overworked doctor tells you that he was thinking about you last night. He says he's been aware of a local surgeon that you absolutely must see, but he says the wait time could be long. You are both absolutely astounded when the specialist agrees to see you immediately. Come straight up, he says. He tells you he's heading overseas for a bone workshop forum conference, and he wants to take your scans. He asks if that's okay, and of course you'll agree. You're overjoyed on his return to learn that he wants to try a world-first operation. He'll be removing the lower part of your collarbone and stabilising it with a wire to your upper rib. With only 13 known cases in the world, this operation is rare. There are no guarantees, and in August 1997, the day after your birthday, you go under the surgeon's knife. We're all overjoyed 6 weeks later when it turns out to have been a thorough success. Forever a hard worker, you're overjoyed to return to earning and working, and for a year or so you cook food for no less than 70 residents at the local aged care facility. The residents prefer it when you're rostered on because they know you know how to make the tight budgets still dazzle their taste buds. But as we all know, Jacqui, at the core of your DNA is sales. Selling and vibrantly connecting with people, and by 1999, you're managing bras and things in the major new Grand Central shopping centre. Across 150 stores, sales reports show that this store is consistently the lowest, second worst in the country. 149th of 150 stores. The worst? 3 kilometres away, the nearby Clifford Gardens branch. Soon, you're the area manager of both stores. And by the first Christmas running the joint, the Grand Central store is number 1 in the country, and you win an all-expenses-paid trip to the USA, where you and Brian soak up Disneyland, hit Las Vegas, and take a chartered joy flight you'll never forget over the Grand Canyon. By now, your beautiful mum, Pearl, is living in the Milo nursing home, and visiting her is a highlight of every day. You become a mother of the bride in April 2000 when your daughter Kylie marries the one she loves, and you do it all again in 2008 when daughter Jaylyne marries the love of her life. Kylie and Jeremy, Jaylyne and Lucian are welcome extensions and points of growth in our family. For you and Brian, these are iconic, proud days in your life, days you'll forever cherish. With an eye for business and opportunity, it's in 2000 that you take time off to stage Kylie's wedding. It's in the Toowoomba area that you notice a gaping hole, a niche in the market for a premium bridal store experience. A showroom where gowns aren't stuffed in protector bags, instead beautifully laid out, big floor space on stylish mannequins, and where appointments aren't required and staff really truly engage, not in a snobby way, with brides to be. And so your showroom, a touch of romance, bridal and formal, is born, where dreams come true. Every year, no less than 1,500 brides choose our showroom across 12 years. Your story's a hit. Catwalk events throughout the year, celebrity designers visiting, iconic staples on the calendar, and by 2006, you've grown the network to 3 showrooms: Toowoomba, Brisbane, and the Sunshine Coast, at its peak with 22 staff and your own import facility. We go to 2005 now. You're overjoyed to become, in January, a first-time grandmother to Jessie Bree, followed across the years in order of Cormac, Julia, Isaac, Trent, Noah, and Lavinia. The 2000s are filled with your bridal showroom, your grandkids, and never missing a day you love to drop in on your precious mum Pearl at New Milo home. In February 2010, your heart breaks and you cry a river of tears when your precious mum goes to glory. You miss her every moment, but you and Brian, all of us, are so glad that Nana's, your mum's back pain, is no more. 2010 and beyond, your network widens and your rich goodness toward others gets even deeper when, as a Christian, you choose to deepen your insight, becoming an ally, support and friend to members of the gay and lesbian community. You celebrate them, their milestones, in the exact same way all humanity wants to be celebrated. This comes at significant cost to yourself. You stand up for fairness, for inclusion, and you don't shy away from tough conversations, always presenting one and one only Jacqui to all. Here, in 2014, yourself and Brian share some of your experience on the church stage.
Is that don't look at someone who says I'm gay and look at them and condemn them, because they are beautiful people. They are human beings that are equally as loved as much as anybody else is by our loving God. They are equally loved by God, and they are not to be looked down upon and classed as second-class citizens or anything like that.
In 2012, you plant the seeds in what will become a phenomenal real estate career. Initially, you represent 2 or 3 properties for your local business community network, but before you know it, grown and grown, you never shy away from hard work and late nights, and that attributes to the growth. You quickly become an agent of choice, winning award after award for the levels of commission that you attain in the global network. You're given some admin support from the very beginning, but it's your skill and your work that drives the business, and within the company, you get to brand your own identity within the global network. Your personal sales team grows to 2 people in 2017, to 3 in 2020, and to 4 in 2021.
I'm Jacqui Walker from Remax Success. Welcome to 34 Gary Mountain School Road, Kingsthorpe, where country living collides with luxurious living.
Verified 5-star reviews follow you across every rating and social network platform, and you average a phenomenal 25 property settlements per month across the past year. You're considered a high achiever in the Toowoomba region by your colleagues and homeowners. Time moves on, and just by being the upbeat friend and beautiful listener you are, and I might say the dinner party hostess with the mostest, your social network with church friends, neighbours and community blossoms. On a visit to Melbourne, you and Brian meet someone very special to me, Boom Telawest. The 4 of us start in the Docklands one morning for a gourmet hot breakfast. We go to look at luxury cars, mini golf, and then as the afternoon goes on, my father and I, Brian, we go for some laneway coffee and toast, and Boom takes you for a day of pampering, an afternoon of pampering. The next night, it's a fierce game of cards. Boom and yourself come a very close tie. One of you wins. Living far away with no clear pathway for even a holiday right now due to the pandemic, we miss you both. So, all the way from the Kingdom of Thailand, the director, the cameraman making this happen today is Boom Patella West, and he has this to say.
Hello from Thailand. Who is the most wonderful woman of them all? Of course, Jacqui Walker. I still remember the day we met in Melbourne. We had breakfast together. We went to have a massage. We had a chat at the Maya coffee shop. There was such a great time. And happy 30th birthday to you. As you know, a lot of people stop counting their age after 30, and you will be 30 forever, and you look so 30 and so beautiful. I wish you all the best, all the happiness, and we love you, we miss you, and we can't wait to see you soon. Bye bye, happy birthday!
In 2019, you courageously set goals for your physical body. And how fabulous you're looking these days with more than 50 kilograms off. You love your weekly bike rides with Dad, Brian, and it's not uncommon for you to ride across town to see grandkids play in a sports match. And just this morning I heard you say, I'm 60, but I'm feeling 29. Very recently, in a very unexpected and special highlight, yourself and Brian purchased an acre in the best street of town, and you look forward to building your dream concept home. We know, rewinding to you at 4 years old, just how welcoming you were. You come have a cup of tea with me, you'd say. You are a master hospitalitarian, and so we know this will be a home where all are loved and welcome. Jacqui Walker, you're a child of God. You absolutely know you're held in the Saviour's Lord's sovereign arms. In your 60th year, you're a cherished wife to Brian, a mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, sister, admired friend, aunt, cousin, and neighbour. You're noted for your hospitality, for your consistent warmth, and for your reflective listening and care. Tonight, your husband, your family, your friends join you. They join together to honour you, so I ask them to stand. Jacqui Walker, this is your life.